Good morning guys, excuse the wet mop, it's just that today we're meant to have severe storms smack bang in the middle of the actual day, and I figured I'd rather sit down and start the video straight away and then dry my hair after in case it does start raining at the very start of me trying to film this video, because when it rains you can hear it in my audio and it really messes with the lighting, so I can't actually film when it's raining. So anyway, just in case you guys are wondering why I have wet hair, but today's video is going to be a foundation first impressions and wear test on the Too Faced Dew You Full Coverage Fresh Glow Foundation, which I am so excited to give a go, because if you guys watch me often, you'd know I never wear dewy finish foundations. I pretty much only ever wear matte to natural finish foundations, especially this time of year. So in Australia it is summer, so we are in the middle of like intense heat, so I would never wear a dewy finish foundation in intense heat because I just feel like it's a recipe for disaster for my skin type. I am a combination skin type, so in crazy hot weather I do get quite oily around my T-zone, and I do rely on more mattifying finishes just so the foundation stays intact throughout the day. The lower half of my face stays relatively normal, and then in winter I definitely lean more towards dry. Overall my texture is pretty damn good. I have a few little blemishes that I'm recovering from, but like I don't really have any textural issues. My skin feels very smooth as a baby's butt today. I have like slightly enlarged pores on my nose, and I do typically find foundations settle really badly in around the corners of my nose where it's like the deepest set, I guess. And I guess I'm just going to like use the same products I would usually use when I do my foundation, because like I was saying, I'm a bit of a dewy finish foundation rookie, so like don't crucify me if I do something that you wouldn't personally do with a dewy finish foundation, because I'm just like, I'm still trying to figure this out. But if you guys have any tips that you want to share with me for the ultimate dewy finish foundation, and also like with wearability, like it being long wearing and stuff, let your girl know. We'll just pop on some of my Too Faced Hangover Primer. This is my ultimate #1 holy grail, most used, most repurchased primer to ever exist. I think I've gone through about 5 bottles of this now. So with the actual foundation, I'll read a little bit about it for you guys. So it is available at Mecca now in Australia, and it's on the Too Faced website and also on Sephora, I believe. It's such cute packaging. So it's $55 on the Mecca site, and then it's $36 USD on Too Faced website. And I also purchased this foundation myself off Mecca because I didn't get sent this in PR, so I bought it myself. And it comes in, it only comes in 20 shades. Hydrate and brighten your complexion with this long-wearing watermelon, cucumber, and vitamin C infused gel cream foundation that covers every flaw while creating a dewy, fresh, and luminous glow. Dew You smooths, moisturizes, and nourishes the skin for a flawless, fresh complexion that's 1 in a melon. Oh, that's so cute, instead of 1 in a million. I love Too Faced. The packaging of this collection is literally I'm getting so excited, I can't speak. It's literally the cutest, and I actually really like the packaging of this too. I just want to know, like, do people set dewy foundations with powder? Is that like a sin? Like, if you're wearing a dewy foundation, does that defeat the purpose of wearing a dewy finish foundation? Or like, I just would love to know what you guys think. Allow your moisturizer and primer to fully absorb, then apply 1 pump of foundation with fingers or a dry sponge and build as desired. I wet my sponge, damn it, so I should use a dry sponge. Well, I do have a dry sponge here. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Or can I use a brush? So it says the formula leaves the skin with a glowing satin finish. So satin to me isn't the same as dewy. Pro tip, this unique foundation dries down to a shade slightly deeper than its wet color. Your Born This Way shade is your Dew You shade. Because Light Beige is my Too Faced Born This Way foundation shade for when I'm fake tanned, but it looks like really dark, this color. So I applied a little bit more fake tan in the hopes that it'll match, but I think once I conceal a little bit, it'll lighten up overall a little bit as well. Pro tip, set T-zone and under eyes with its banana setting powder. Okay, so they do recommend to set your T-zone and your under eyes. So, okay. So I could probably set my entire face a little bit if I wanted to. I guess we'll just see how it feels. So I'm just going to use my Sigma 3D HD blender, which is dry, and I'm just going to use it to apply to my right side of my face. And I think I will apply it to my left side with a brush. It does say that you only need one pump. Oh, I just lost the lid. But I'd say I'll end up using like more than that, just because I'm using two different application methods. It's really weird using a sponge that's not damp, but that's just because I'm used to using damp sponges. I definitely need more than the one pump that they suggested. It smells like heaps like watermelon. So if you don't like the fragrance of watermelon, don't buy it. I love watermelon, so it's very pleasant for my nostrils. And the fragrance isn't like hurting my eye or anything. I have really sensitive eyes and really strong fragrances can actually irritate them. And it's not irritating them right now, so that's good. So it actually looks like really nice on my skin. At the moment, I think it's more like a medium coverage. It's not like crazy full coverage, but I do like it. It is like evening out my overall skin tone, but I do feel like you can still see like all my red blemishes popping through and everything. So I'm going to try use a kabuki brush now on the left side of my face. Yeah, it definitely doesn't apply as nicely with the kabuki brush. Like it looks, like, I don't know if you guys will be able to see on camera. The texture looks so different. It's not bad, but the texture isn't as glowy. Isn't that interesting? Like I can physically see it. I don't know if you guys will be able to because of the studio lights. Like I just feel like they're probably way too bright for you to be able to see that difference yourself on camera. But using the dry sponge definitely makes the skin look much more soft and glowy. Using the brush, I feel like it's made my skin look a little bit more textured and not quite as glowy. So I'm going to tap over that with the dry sponge. It's looking really nice though, and it feels really good. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to slip and slide all over my face. It did say though that it's actually a satin finish, not like a crazy, like I was expecting it to be like crazy dewy because it's called Dew, but it's actually a satin finish. Which to me, satin and dewy aren't the same thing. What do you guys think? Is satin and dewy the same to you, or are they different things to you? Because they're a little bit different to me personally. I find that like here, my foundation always patches off. It is literally so annoying. Damn, I actually really like how this is looking on my skin. Like it's not like the craziest coverage foundation I've ever put on my face, but it feels like nothing. Like I can't even feel it on my face. And it looks beautiful, like on over the top of my skin. Like I know I don't really have any texture, so I feel like most foundations like do look nice. I'm blessed in that department for that reason. But this looks exceptionally nice, I think. So I'm just taking the shade Vanilla in the Super Coverage Concealer, my favorite concealer. And I'm going to conceal the usual areas that I would, which is under my eyes and just around my chin, just because it is a little bit dark. And I'm just going to take a damp Sigma 3D H2 blender now. So I feel like I am going to set my entire face lightly, but I'm just going to use my Too Faced Ethereal powder. This is my favorite loose setting powder. I feel like it sets the overall face nicely, but also your under eyes. So I'm just going to take a Sigma F35 tapered highlighting brush first and just set my under eyes. And I'm just going to do a very light dusting everywhere else. So it is 9:30. So first check-in, 9:30. I'll go finish the rest of my makeup and see if I can just zhuzh these little patches that have come off, and then I'll give you guys a close-up of my skin. Okay guys, I've just finished playing with some other new makeup. I got the new Huda liquid metals in the mail. Is that what they're called? Melted shadows, and I just used the one in the shade Limelight and Gold Chains, and oh my god, I'm obsessed. So it is nearly 11:30, so just doing a little check-in to give you guys just like my first impressions on the foundation and how I'm feeling about it so far. So first impressions, it is a medium to buildable full coverage foundation. So if you just do what they suggest, the one pump, I think you're gonna get like a really nice sort of balanced, even skin tone, but it's not going to cover absolutely everything like a mask, but you can definitely layer this foundation. Like I laid it up a few different places where I had like the little bit of acne and the redness down on the bottom half of my face, and it has ended up covering like everything. I feel like it's a really beautiful like satin finish foundation. It's actually not what I was expecting. I feel like it's glowy, but it's still like a satin finish, if that makes sense. So it's not like matte, but it's not like glossy. I don't know if I'm like making sense with how I'm describing it, but it's definitely different to how I was expecting, and I really like it. Like, I'm really impressed so far, so I hope it wears well throughout the day. You can definitely tell it has like a gel formulation as well, because when I dispensed a little bit of it yesterday just to do a color match, and I could feel on my fingers like how gel-like the consistency feels. And when you apply it on your face with an actual dry blender, you can also sort of feel that sensation. But I feel like it makes for like the most like undetectable feeling foundation. Like, I feel like I've got nothing on my face even though I have like a full cake load of makeup. And what makes you feel like heavy when you're wearing makeup is definitely your foundation, and this foundation just does not feel heavy. It doesn't feel heavy on my skin at all. So I'm excited to see how it feels like the longer I wear it, because as I get to sort of like the 6 to 8 hour wear time, I kind of just want to like scratch my face off and like remove my makeup because I get over wearing it. But I feel like it's very, very comfortable, so I don't know if I'm going to have that sensation with this particular foundation. But yes, it's going to be cool to see how it wears, you know, if it gets oily or if it breaks up or anything like that. I feel like the only place that got like a little bit cakey was between my brows, but I think it's because I'm due for a little bit of a brow wax. Oh yeah, it looks really good. Like, I feel like my skin looks really nice. I'm very impressed, and excuse my eyes, they're getting red because I'm getting like closer to the ring light, and my eyes don't like bright lights, which is great when you're trying to film a YouTube video. Let me just put some drops in. One moment, please. Honestly, looks really beautiful. Let me just turn down the lights so you guys can get a sense of what it looks like without the really bright ring light. I have a lot of highlight on too. I'm sorry if some of you find that offensive, but I just felt like drenching myself. So you guys can definitely see it has like a dewy reflect to the actual foundation. I have lipstick on my teeth, but it still has like a really beautiful like satin finish, and this could be a new favorite. If this wears well today, I might end up liking this more than I like the Born This Way. And like the Born This Way is pretty bloody good, and I really love the smell of it. If you guys love watermelon and fruity scents, sweet fruity scents, then you guys will also love the smell of this. And also, once like I had it applied to my skin, I feel like I can't smell it. Like I can't smell it on my face, but I can smell it when I first apply it and when I sniff the bottle. But once it's actually on your skin, you cannot smell it at all. So yay for that, because I do get over like heavily fragrance products. I'm going to go take some pictures of this makeup look, which I'm really feeling with my Playboy shirt. If you guys are wondering where this shirt is from, it's from Misguided. And I'll just keep you guys posted with how it's holding up on my skin. But yeah, first impressions, I am loving it. It's really nice, so that's exciting. Hey guys, so just doing a little check-in. Had this on for 5 hours, and it's wearing really well. I just blew my nose not long ago, and a few little patches came off around my nose. But other than that, we're looking on fleek still. I'm pretty impressed actually. I'm like really liking how this is wearing and just how beautiful it looks on my skin. Like, I hope you guys can see on camera how nice this actually looks. Like, I feel like it doesn't emphasize any of my pores or any of like the facial hair I might have on my face. I feel like it's worn really nicely and it's just sitting super well. So that makes me really excited. It's sitting really well over those couple little blemishes I had too. I just think it's looking really good. Like, I have a lot of highlight on, but I definitely think the foundation itself has like a really nice, like healthy glow to it too. And it looks really good on my skin. Like, I'm so impressed. How's it going on the corners of my nose? Oh yeah, not too bad. I mean, it's a little bit separated in the very like inner corner of my nose, just where I blew it. But I mean, it's not bad. This is just super, super promising. Like, I could have a new favorite foundation on my hands. Like, I could have a new top 5 contender the way this is going. Like, if this wears well for another 3 hours, I'm going to be using this all the time, and I can tell you that it'll make it into my top favorite foundations because I just think it is just so nice on my skin. It like enhances my skin and just makes it look, I don't know, just like very youthful. Alright guys, final check-in time. It has been 8 hours. I realise I can't count, and my last check-in was actually 6 hours. And now we're at 8 hours. The foundation has held up so well. I just like honked my nose again, and you guys will be able to see like where the foundation came off my nose. I suppose it has very slightly like sat in some fine lines around here around my mouth, but like overall it's looking really good. And I'm really excited to keep using it. I definitely like it. Like I can 110% say with total certainty that I love this foundation. I'm definitely going to get lots of wear out of it. I think it may potentially end up in my top 5 favorite foundations. I'm not sure which one it'll boot out, but I think it's going to make it in there. I'm just going to keep using it. I think I do want to try it with an actual damp sponge. I believe the reason why they say to use it with a dry sponge is because it's a gel formula, so it's a bit different to a usual liquid foundation, and I'm assuming a damp sponge with a gel formula may not be the best combo. So it did apply really well with just the dry Sigma 3D HD blender, so it's not like a big deal. I'm just curious to see if it applies nicely with the wet sponge. It definitely didn't apply as nicely with the brush compared to the sponge. Like it didn't look bad, but it just didn't look as good. So I mean, I understand why they have the instruction there. It definitely like applied flawlessly with the dry sponge, and I'm just really like, I'm just loving how my skin looks today. I feel like my skin looks really healthy. I was on Insta stories like snapping away without a filter. My skin, even without a filter, looked like incredibly smooth and like airbrushed-esque. Like it looked like it had been airbrushed. Anyway, I'm delusional and I need to go get something to eat. So Brett and I are going to go get dinner now. Thank you so very much for watching if you guys made it to the very end. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Let me know what you guys think of this foundation. How did you think it looked on my skin? Are you going to try it? Is it on your wish list? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll be chatting to you guys down there. So I hope you have a lovely day or night, and I'll be talking to you really soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.